this one, and it was me stepping obviously out of a certain comfort zone of some sort and working with like actors I'd never worked with before, classy adult actors and shit, not porn, but adult. Like that was the thing. I look at every day when we were shooting, I was like, there are grown-ups in this movie, you know. And then I remembered I was 40 and I was one of them. But it was really kind of cool. It was a nice. I never had a chance. Like, where would I put Goodman? Like, hey, it's fucking Silent Bob's uncle. You know?
I just honestly want to thank you, and two last things I wanted to say is, Mr. Goodman, I have been a huge fan of you for many years. I at least watch once a month I watch The Big Lebowski, and you are one of the best parts of that goddamn movie. You are.
Shut the fuck up, Donald.
The last thing I want to say is, Jen, do the fishies indeed have eyes? Is all I want to add.
You didn't hear her, but she said, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Over here, to the left.
Hello. Oh, wow. I just want to say, Kevin, that I've been watching people ask you questions since I was in middle school, so sorry to make you feel old, but this is very big for me. So I just want to ask you a one-word question, which was it hot to have your wife fire that big of a gun?
It was oddly titillating, you know? We're not gun people. We're not anti-gun people, although we did go to the Million Mom March. Like when that happened in Washington years ago, Harley was like 1 year old. And Jen was like, for Mother's Day, I want to go to the Million Mom March. I was like, what's that about, man? Is that dudes not having sex or something? She goes, that was the other march. She said, this one, they're not good for guns. They're against guns. I was like, I want to take guns away? They're like, no, it's about gun control kind of thing. I said, all right, let's go do it. So we went there and marched in the Million Mom March. And Jen has been as resolutely anti-gun as I've ever met anybody. Until we got on the set of the movie. And all of a sudden I was like, you gotta go rehearse with Scotty Props. And she was like, okay, because she'd never fired an automatic weapon. And she came back afterwards, I got a bus, you know, because they kicked me out of the air. And I had the bus kind of as the trailer man. I hear the door slam, she gets in, she's like, get those fucking pants off. You know? Because she'd had the power in her hands firing a gun and shit. Suddenly she was into it, man. Suddenly she was like, we should go to the rifle range. But it was kind of cute. I mean, I guess it was a fun thing to shoot a gun. I don't know. She seemed way into it and stuff. But then afterwards, like, just change your mind about guns? She's like, no, not at all. Although, boy, she looked like she was having fun. So it was, that was cool, seeing her shoot the gun. But I swear to God, no matter where I watch the movie, there's always a very high-pitched, inappropriate laugh when she gets shot in the head. And that's always me. The sound effect is so fucking chilling. It's just like, you know, and all of a sudden she goes down, a little blood flies. I do. Every time I watch it, I'm like, you're fucking dead. All right, thank you, sir. Going up.
Hey, what's up, Kevin?
Hey.
Now that you've been, in your words, stoning, how did the editing process go for you that you were high pretty much the whole time?
I'm sorry, say again?
Versus other movies that you've done, now that you've been, in your words, stoning?
Stoning?
You know, getting high, smoking weed all the time.
Well,
how did the process differ?
Hold on, I do smoke weed, but I don't get high. I'm not a teenager. You know, I get centered. I was pretty much stoned throughout the editing process. Not stoned, I don't get stoned, but I was definitely smoking weed all throughout the editing process. And that's why the film was edited so quickly. I have the reverse genetics of most stoners. Like, I don't sit down, smoke weed, and watch a movie. I sit down, smoke weed, and make a movie. You know? So for me, I was able to kind of work through it. When I started smoking weed, it was only 2 years ago I started smoking weed in earnest. When I started doing it, I said, I'm going to tie it to something productive. That way I won't just fucking get even fatter. I was afraid I'd look like Jabba if I started smoking weed. So I decided anytime I was picked up, I would go do something creative. I would write something, go on Twitter. When you see me on Twitter all the time, that's why. That's why I'm on Twitter all the time. So when I was editing, same thing. I just sit there and smoke, and I would smoke it like a cigarette. Like I don't sit there and like get all stoned and shit. Smoke it, leave it in the ashtray, and just cut the movie and whatnot. And it was fantastic. Like this to me, I'm an editor, and that's the thing that I love most right now. I used to love writing very much. Right now, I'm very much in love with editing. Hopefully, by the last movie, I might like directing too. But right now, I'm all into editing, and this is my favorite of all the movies I've edited because it looks like I didn't edit it. It looks like a real professional edited the stuff, and I credit weed with that.
Very good. +1.
Thank you. All right, where are we? Bang, bang, bang.
Hi, sorry. I love the movie, it was wonderful, and I listened to all the Smodcasts. I'm a huge fan of Smodcasts, stuff like that. But I was listening to State of the Union, and I had this fear that I'll come in here and pretty much get an idea of who will die when. And when you fucking shot Ralph, I freaked the fuck out of my seat. I'm like, if Ralph's dead, who do we look forward to in the Garmy? You know, who will tell us who the cunts are? And, you know, thank you. I got left at Radio City Hall. Anyway, but I have to say, I really had a fear that I wasn't going to be surprised. And you killed everyone who I thought wasn't going to die, who was going to be the hero. I thought he was going to be the hero throughout the movie. And I thought John Goodman, I really thought, like, you got him for maybe a day or two, so he was going to do a little bit part. He became the hero of the story. He was our hero. He was our guy. We went, this is the good guy. Let's all him. And he was fucking amazing. And I mean, I watched Roseanne as a kid, so I grew up with John Goodman, and to see him to be the hero, he was an action hero. I mean, it was like seeing my dad kick ass. It was amazing. Yeah, I'm done. I'm sorry. Oh, and the question is, oh, fuck me, the question. So for when you do tour with your podcast, I came to you yesterday. I came to the signing at Midtown. I gave you my card. I have a theater. And I'm not just saying for Smodcast, I'm also saying Bagged and Boarded Popsicles. And anyone else who has a podcast, I want to start like a Smodcast East. And yeah, so...
Oh, they got a theater to do Smodcast?
I have a theater.
We talked about that.
We talked about it, yeah. And
do you just want to do it again in front of everybody?
No, not just for you. I want to open it up to everyone because basically what I'm saying is what you started is going to be so much bigger than you. And I want to make sure that everyone knows that.
I don't think anything could be bigger than me. I got kicked out of the air for being too big.
You lost a person, man. You lost a person. But I'm just saying that for everyone, like... Okay, I'm getting booed. I'm sorry. I love Chasing Amy. Bye. No, but seriously though, like... But seriously, podcast.
Hold on, it'll pass. Weather the storm. This happened to me on Cop Out. Don't worry. When you're going through hell, keep going. Keep going.
How much further do